I'm ready now.
Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
And what can we expect?
Surprises!
Engineered by Jay Timko and produced by Eric Beatty. And without further delay, it's showtime! Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Come on, shithead, let's go!
Alrighty. Thank you. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, Thursday edition of the Detroit Cast. I'm Mike, that is Jay. Eric is here, Timko is here, the whole gang today. How's everybody doing?
Very well.
Yeah. Doing good?
You?
I am doing very good, yeah. It's good to be here. Starting the show. And a lot to get to today. Dare I say a big show. Miley Cyrus is a whore. I don't know if you guys knew that.
No way.
Yep, that's true. Some Russian assholes have run away with just a couple passwords. With a B. I won't even say with an M, with a B. Billions of them. So, yeah, these cocksuckers. Because I'm too lazy. I'm not going to be the guy that changes all my passwords. I'm that lazy guy.
Do you think they got the Detroit Cast?
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, I bet Timko's got us pretty locked down.
Timko looks at me like, you dumb fucker. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I love when they're like, yeah, that's what they say. Oh, the best way to secure yourself is to go change all your passwords.
Or have a Timko there.
Fucking yeah. All 10 of them? I have like 10 passwords. I'm not going to go change
10? Most of us have 100.
All right. So.
It's funny, too, because we got people trying to hack our site every day. Lots
Here?
of them. Yeah.
Really?
We got a lot of them trying to hit it, so we're good.
That's good. Yeah, fuckers, take that.
Yeah.
Hack away, assholes.
Nice, inviting them even more.
Yeah, bring it on, Russian assholes. We got another 12-year-old murderer. I think we talked about that yesterday a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some new details there. Interesting. Also, the port shooter, Ted Wafer. Some new details coming out there as well. The general that was murdered. Interesting stuff there. But why don't we start where we usually do lately, it seems like, with Ebola. The fun that is Ebola.
It's going to be the end. This is it.
Man, I'm telling you, that's not as crazy as it sounds. That it wouldn't surprise me if it just started running like wildfire. We see what wildfires are like in California when they get going, and it's just like, well, hope it rains soon.
Yeah.
Because this shit, the experts that are talking about this stuff, they're saying words that if you read between lines, you don't even have to read between lines. It just doesn't sound good. They're calling it out of control, health experts are saying. The virus hasn't ever been in control since it was first discovered in '76, says Lori Garrett, the senior fellow for global health. She spoke to reporters at a conference yesterday or day before yesterday, right when Nancy was landing at the hospital in Atlanta, right, Paul? There's no strategic plan of how we're going to bring this under control. What will be the global strategy if this disease shows up elsewhere? The CDC are sending 50 medical professionals to Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone in the next few days to relieve and assist people working on the crisis. And we've done what we do, which is just allocate funds. Oh, $200 million, that should do it. Write a check. There you go. Hope GLJ knows what he's doing with the money.
That's what I was going to say. We're lucky we got a partner like GLJ on the other side.
Exactly. I mean, could you imagine if the check landed in someone other than Good Luck Jonathan's hands?
Yeah.
I mean, Christ.
Couldn't trust where that shit would go.
No, you couldn't. There would be legitimate concerns.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, at least we do have a rock-solid partner like Good Luck Jonathan over there. And so that's the only thing of this that makes me feel okay. Because when you look at the region, they've got, like, hundreds of people in Sierra Leone and Guinea, and, like, that whole western part of Africa is just getting blasted. And the scary part there is most people don't even want to acknowledge it because they think they're going to be starved to death.
Yeah, you were talking about that the other day. Just this lack of education as to what the hell is going on.
Right.
And
so think about that. The people that are just cowering in their houses surrounded by family, coughing and sneezing everywhere, and then say they die on a Friday, and the family doesn't even have any concept of how they get it. And meanwhile, they've been coughed on for a month. they've got it, but their symptoms don't show up for 3 weeks. So they're walking about the city, they're banging chicks, whatever. And now it's tenfold. I'm serious. Oh, no. Like, that's scary as fuck. Some guy hops on a flight, he's gone. He's gone. You've just sent this thing all over the world. And everybody's acting like, yeah, well, we really don't know what the fuck we're going to do.
We're watching for it at airports. So
yeah, heat
signs
sensors.
Of fever.
Yeah, any gastrointestinal.
And aching, don't forget aching.
Yeah, well, those aching people really show themselves quickly, don't they? Good Lord. Meanwhile, the one bright spot in the whole region really was GLJ's watch, which was Nigeria, where you had, hundreds here, hundreds there, Sierra Leone, hundreds more, hundreds dead. And every day it's like 700 dead. Now it's 800. Next day, 932 now. But then you've got this one little golden spot where GLJ's
where charge. You only have hundreds of missing girls.
Well, but they're alive.
Yeah,
presumably, right? They're not sick because they're on GLJ's watch, and he does care about that. So you got one person there, and GLJ has got that guy on lockdown.
Yep.
No way is anybody else going to be infected.
Exactly.
Well.
Oh, what? Uh-oh. Come on.
I'm just saying, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know GLJ personally. I wish I did know a class individual like that, but I don't. A total of 8 people in Nigeria were in direct contact with a man who flew to Lagos and died, the guy that died.
Yeah.
They've all got symptoms of the dreaded Ebola.
Yeah.
8 people. They've all been placed into quarantine. Thank God this happened in Nigeria on GLJ's watch. That's all I can say. Of the 8, only a doctor who treated the traveler has so far tested positive. The others are being tested. Gee, I wonder what they've got. They've all got symptoms and direct contact with it. Absolutely spin out of control over there.
Dude, this is
terrifying.
It is stating it to say that this could be the end. It comes out in a place. Cultural, it feeds into it. These cultural problems, the lack of medicine, the lack of organization. It's just, and the nature of the disease not showing, like you say, for 21 days, and people traveling around banging chicks.
Yeah,
it's ugly.
Because when you think about the guys that are over there trying to help the situation, right? You've got these angels, saints, whatever you want to call them, like Kent Brantley or whatever, Nancy Wrightball. They own disease-filled pit of shit and want to get dirty there. I can't even comprehend it. I can't comprehend it. You've got a family at home, children, and you're flying into hell, literally flying into hell just to do your part to help. And so, but one thing I'll give us in America, those guys absolutely know the dangers of the Ebola virus. They're not fucking around. A guy like Kent Brantley knows what he's dealing with.
Yeah.
And they act. All we hear is, oh yeah, thank God it's not spread through the air like the flu. Brantley and his team were as absolutely bundled up and as protected, thorough on it as they could be, as they could possibly be. They know what they're dealing with, and he's got it. Nancy's got it. And then we're flying them back here. And I'm sorry, man. I just don't have any faith. I know what. If I wanted to sneak a fucking knife through the airport, I'm absolutely confident I could do it today. I am. So I just don't believe that they are on lockdown and keeping their eyeballs out for fevers. Nobody here is taking this seriously. Right. Did you really think people are worried about the Ebola virus in America? They're not. They're fucking not. And flights aren't even canceled there. There's a couple flights that are like delayed. We're going to shut it down for a couple days, but resume things. Most airlines going from Europe to Africa and all the countries around there, from America and England, are not even delayed or canceled. They're just doing trips back and forth, transporting God only knows how many motherfuckers who are sicker than shit and won't even know it for weeks.
Do you think it's too late? Do you think it's too late to close it down right now? This is the end.
Probably.
Mike. Holy shit.
I don't mean to scare people, but dude, that's for real. When you've got people that do this for a living, study this shit for a living, going, no, make no mistake, this is absolutely out of control, and I have no idea what we're going to do to control this. And to further that, how often do you think it happens where a serum is built in a lab like the CDC and it doesn't even go to testing on animals? It goes direct into the fucking field in Africa on humans. We are trial and erroring this thing on human fucking beings in Africa. That's
Desperate.
desperate. Great word, Jay. That is fucking utterly desperate is what that is. That should tell people something. Usually those things go to trial and testing for 10 years before you would ever see it show up in the field. Nope. Right there, 2 Americans are getting this treatment. Yeah, have you seen that treatment, what they're doing?
No.
It's remarkable. They are giving basically the virus. They need a living body to host this virus, right? So you got to either have an animal, which is expensive, to get monkeys and fuck them all up. It's expensive and it takes longer. So they've got plants. They've got tobacco plants that they're just ravaging with this virus. And then when the plant starts to die, because it's going to die hosting this thing, they like milk it like we did Eric, and they use that as to get their serum, and it goes through these other processes with these tobacco leaves. So in 1 week, we have learned how absolutely dangerous to your health jogging is and how smoking cures Ebola. It's remarkable what they're finding right now. It really is exciting times in the
Smoking, not just tobacco plants.
smoke.
Yeah.
So I'm just making the link and the connection. That's all I'm saying. Smoking cures Ebola. One thing's for sure, jogging will get you fucking kill you.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be mauled by a dog, jog away, health nut.
Again,
knock yourself out.
I'm not a health nut. I'm a thrill seeker, man.
Mhm.
What can I say?
In today's paper, as we're recording this, the stats are 880 people dead. If you go upstairs and look at the news right now, 932. And I promise you, they don't know about half the motherfuckers that have this.
Yeah.
Everything you read in the papers, these people are bolting their doors shut, houses packed with people, dead bodies, fucking infected, and they're going, they won't let us in the door, so I guess we'll just leave. And people are rioting around these fucking ambulances going, you're not leaving until that fucking dead body is out of that house. And they're going, no, we're not going to break into their house.
Oh my
That's
God.
what's going on over there.
This is dude, one of my favorite books of all time.
But just fly him home to America.
Right.
Get him home. Fly him home by all means.
Dude, this is
No.
the fucking stand, dude. This is the...
You honestly got to think about a bomb.
Even
But-
then,
but
it doesn't
see-
matter. I don't think that would matter.
But
I
dude,
think they're already
innocent
here.
people like GLJ are there.
They're already here. It doesn't matter, dude. They're already in Europe. There's, like you said, planes are leaving from that place to every country. No stopping, nothing.
Nope.
They're already everywhere, dude.
Cat's out of the bag. The toothpaste is out of the tube.
It is. I mean, can we protect ourselves in here? You guys are welcome to bring your families. We'll just
Are you
just
talking
bomb shelter this
Do
place.
24-hour show.
Are you talking about the place that when it rained we had to put garbage cans?
Shut up, man.
Garbage bags.
That's a different kind of fluid, and Timco's on it.
We had a
Don't
lot of
worry
questions
about
about how the fuck was it raining in the basement.
it. It was a precaution. There was
I
no
like how
rain in the basement. There was
someone-
no water in the basement. Timco's just uber thorough.
It's kind of a weird
Thank
basement.
The,
There's
Lord. That's why we don't have hackers. It's why we don't have Ebola in this studio.
You know, like how
Timco's on it.
someone's like, oh, maybe we don't do the shows outside. Like, okay, like as if we're doing the shows outside.
Just
I do
smart
want to
asses.
do them outside.
That'd be great, but I mean,
This board is absolutely portable, meant to go in and out
Really?
of places. Yeah, I want to go out back and do a party out there.
good
for
thing
sure.
the summer's almost over.
Shut up, Eric.
Oh,
I will say, can someone shut his mic off?
You can.
it's a skylight. We have skylights in the basement.
Exactly.
It's a weird basement.
It is.
different.
It's not weird.
It's-
I don't know
it's-
if
it's a
weird is the
different-
right word.
Look, I wish it would be. I'm just saying I don't think this is Ebola safe down here right now. Like,
It's certainly not Eric safe. If anyone's going to get Ebola, it's going to be you.
you know,
You're the one that's going to get Ebola
Sticking
first.
his dick and everything. And
Yeah.
God.
Texting and driving, getting into accidents, and
never showers.
never showers. Yeah, you're a
If any-
perfect host.
No,
for-
dude. If
for a
anything,
deadly virus.
I'm building up my immune system. I'll be fine. I'll probably walk right through it. Skate
Oh,
through.
God. Christ. It's scary, man.
It is.
it-
It really is if you start to think about it and how open everything's been with travel and
Yeah,
the fact that you don't see these symptoms for a long it's frightening.
it is. Because the fact, on a
Fast.
good day, people that get it, it's like fast.
Once you realize you have it, it's
Yep.
pretty.
uniform, whatever. I'd be way more worried about some shit dick thinking he's going over to Sierra Leone or New Guinea and then coming back over here carrying something. I'd be way more worried about that.
Well, and the thing is, as you know, just with travel, I mean, you know, my brother was just over in Australia and Malaysia. I mean, who's to say
Probably
that
got it.
Right. So
Did he bang anyone over there?
I don't know. Not that I know of, I guess, but I didn't actually ask him. But my point is, like, you never know. You know what I mean? Someone from Africa goes to it's not that out of the realm that someone goes to Malaysia. Then you know, there's people there.
No, there's students there right now.
Exactly.
From all over this country. There are 8 students stranded there right now as we speak.
Exactly.
And they're delaying it. They're keeping them there another week. And the fact is that what we talked about earlier is these doctors absolutely, more so than any of us, know what they're dealing with, and they're taking every precaution, and they still got it. What does that tell you? So
this could be it, Jay. You're right.
Yeah, you called that day one.
Dude,
so
when you were gone, even the first time you read
Eric
this,
said astronaut. I said, pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're right though. This could be it. Just live it up.
That's scary. And actually scary too is more attacks. This U.S. general, this 2-star general that was slain in Afghanistan. Well, there were a couple more attacks yesterday as well.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. There. An Afghan police officer drug and shoot dead 7 of his colleagues. Yeah.
What's going on, man?
I don't know. Harold Green is the highest, the 2-star general, highest-ranking U.S. officer to be slain in combat since 1970 in the Vietnam War. Amazing, yeah.
You know what I read? This is his first time in a war. Get to that rank without being in a war zone.
And he's been.
Is it at that point so academic? Are these guys so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Isolated and.
I read that same thing, Jay, and I was like, that can't be true. Yeah. How is that possible? Be making calls. Play and you've never been there. Like, how could you at some point you have to have your feet on the ground to be able to truly assess what's going on and talk to people for real, see them eye to eye, and make judgments about really important things. You would think, yeah, it'd be really critical that guy would absolutely not only know the region but know exactly what's going on with his team.
Yeah.
And that I thought that was weird too. But that. When we hear something like that, though, you go, well, yeah, no wonder no one was killed, and a 2-star general hasn't been killed since the 70s. If they're over here relaxing,
sitting in Nebraska or wherever,
yeah, they're going to drop dead of a heart attack before they're going to have any chance of a battle scar.
No, I'm not suggesting that he would be on like the front line fighting in some urban warfare kind of scenario. But dude, it's his first time to a war zone.
You would think he'd be on the front line and such a badass that eventually they would take him out of that, but he'd still be in the region like crazy.
Right, or he would have worked his way up having.
That's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, he'd serve on the front line and was a wicked soldier, and 10 years later, he's a general and a 1-star and a 2-star, however their ranking system goes, and now 40 years later, he's this decorated guy. But yeah, first time in a war zone. All right, there's hope for me. I could be a first-time war zone guy. So.
But apparently, he's the head of this training program, I guess, that he was there to see, serve, and ends up getting taken out.
Shit luck do you have to have that the very first time into a war zone starts mowing people down and you're the guy hit and killed? Because they don't think he was a target.
Yeah, he was just out in an open area, and this guy was just
inside the building.
Yeah, inside the building, just whacking people that are outside in this open.
Yeah, sounds like he just kind of opened fire and just started mowing them down with some Russian assault rifle. Sounds like, maybe. They say early indications suggested the gunman who killed him was inside the building firing indiscriminately from a window at people gathered outside. So they don't think he was a target. But again, as we learned from the press conference yesterday, it's still early in the investigation, so they can't really say anything at this point.
Sweet tits.
I thought that was really over the line, uncalled for.
Come on.
It wasn't the only assault by an Afghan ally on coalition forces on Tuesday in eastern province. An Afghan police guard exchanged fire with NATO troops near the governor's office. The guard was killed in the gunfight. A third Cot, where an Afghan officer killed 7 of his colleagues. That's the first one I mentioned, and stole their weapons. The spokesperson. Now he kind of contradicts it. He says they were saying all along it appeared that the police officer drugged his colleagues before the shooting. This guy Nayeb or whatever later denied that the officers had been drugged, but he said the had Taliban connections without.
Well, it would suggest a link between all of these, right? The fact that they happened on the same day. It's a little weird, right?
Well,
I know these things happen from time to time.
Yeah. Well, a year ago or 2 years ago, I think it would have been common. They had like 60 of these attacks, and a lot of people died. But they really get that vetted process they were talking about, and they got it down. There were only 16 deaths in 10 separate attacks over the last year. So from in 2012, they 40 plus attacks.
But the fact that, would you say 3 happened a couple days ago?
Yeah, on Tuesday.
Yeah.
3 of them.
It's got to be concerted.
Mm-hmm. And Taliban spokesman came out and praised this Afghan soldier, of course, the one that killed the general. He did not claim his group carried out the attack, although in the past they have encouraged such actions, which doesn't surprise anybody. So, yeah, seeing 3 of them in one day on Blue Variety, where these guys are turning on their own guys. And then, the press conference we listened to yesterday, hearing these guys trying to pretend like, oh yeah, we still have all the faith in the world that these guys are the right guys and on the right side, and
you can never know, man. You can never know.
Kidding me? So how many times would it take if we were sitting in this studio and Eric jumped up with a knife and just started stabbing you before you would fucking look around every time you came in here and went, where is that motherfucker that might jump up with a knife and start stabbing people? Like, seriously, you'd never be able to walk down here again the same way. So you're trying to tell me that some guy's going to open fire, shoot 15 people, and kill a 2-star general, and you're going to have all the confidence in the world that these, him?
Yeah.
Bullshit. It's just, it shows what a fucking utter mess it is over there. And, Jay, I apologize in advance because I'm going to do it to you again. I'm going to bring your kids into it. Just because of their ages. That's it. No names.
Make me imagine them dying and being tortured and shit.
Maybe just a little bit. But they're not. They're fine. They're safe. They're here in America. They got the coin toss. It landed heads up for them. American kids, they're good to go. Just keep them out of the Ebola virus and we're good. But imagine if they got the tails on that coin and they ended up in Afghanistan or Istanbul, anywhere else in that region, and you got these kids that are just dying to go to school. That's all they want is to go to school, and they go near the Euphrates River, and which is, they're living in an area where you got ISIS to the north, ISIS to the west, ISIS to the south, and mountains to the east. So you're fucking basically boxed in by ISIS, and you're just getting threats from them like, don't you come through here, don't you come through here. And so so these fucking kids are on a bus, and I bet it's a Toyota, and it's a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going by the Euphrates River. They just want to go study. And as they try and come back, they stop at a restaurant, right? They're going to get something to eat. And here come the Toyota pickup trucks.
Mismatched bumpers and shit.
Yeah. I don't know if it's bad paint job or if it's the Bond that they're going. I don't know what they're doing. But here they come. Oh, Akbar! Oh, Akbar! Oh, Akbar! Oh, Akbar! You come with us. And what do you know? They round up 50 kids, all your kids' age, Jay. They're all your boys' age. Maybe your older one, but still, your kid's about a year away. So in a year, this could happen. But you know how fucking young your kids are and how innocent they are. People listening, we're talking about 13 and 14 and 15-year-old boys kidnapped, just trying to go to school and study for a test, get kidnapped, dragged to this jail where these ISIS soldiers have taken them and are trying to convert them to Islam or this radical shit that they believe in. And at first, just like they've done as they take over town after town, they're really nice. They're keeping services on. They're feeding the kids. They're treating them well. They're studying for an hour in the morning, and then they're playing football all day. I'm assuming they mean soccer.
Football.
But whatever.
Beautiful game.
Yeah, the beautiful game, right? And then after a week, the list comes into play, and they give each kid a list with all their families' names on them that are trying to fight these extremist groups. And so this little 15-year-old, 14-year-old boy is looking at a list. He sees mom, dad, uncle, brother, all this shit on there, and now they're going, do you recognize any names on here? Do you recognize any names on here? You tell us who you know. And the kid's going, no, don't know anybody. I don't know anybody on that list. Really? Nobody? Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
Jay, this is serious news issue, Jay. Come on.
And then they Allah Akbar his ass right down to the basement, and they stuff him into a fucking tire and start beating the fucking shit out of him.
Wait. Into a what?
Into a big truck tire, probably a Toyota truck tire, but a tire. They stuff him into a tire and just start Allah Akbar!
Wait.
And
They
beat-
stuck a tire? I'm trying to picture this.
I don't know what they're...
Here, Jay.
You know, a big tire?
Yeah, but
Like, we would jump in one and
This
roll
is
down a
not
hill.
the important
no,
fact
it
here,
kind of
Jay.
is. Why is he in a tire? Why not just beat him?
It's the torture room downstairs.
Why do you need a tire?
Why do you have to hang him to beat him? You just do.
What's the tire do? I mean, what?
Jay,
If anything,
God,
it protects him.
It spins
It's
him
big and
around.
rubber.
It's like a piñata. They fucking love it.
Okay.
Allah Akbar.
Jay, you're
Tire swing. Tire
focusing
swing.
on the wrong thing here, Jay.
No, this is important, Derek.
Yeah, well, I never thought about it. It just didn't
Is that
dawn on me.
kind
How
of
is that
random?
important?
Kind of random.
Why not just put him in the fucking room and kick him in the head?
Dude, I don't know, but they're doing it. Who cares?
It's like a James Bond villain, you know? You're giving him a chance.
Why
Well,
did-
we're putting this rubber around you so you won't get beaten too bad.
Well, I'm sure, however, they're doing it in a way that's hurting them the most, I guess. I don't think they're trying to help them out.
And how's that hurt them the most to have a
I
tire
don't know, Jay,
surrounding them
however
and
they're doing
protecting
it,
them?
it is.
Can we please get a tire here and beat Eric in one, please?
Can we
just
try this
see
out?
if it's worse. We'll have Timko beat him first, just without the tire, and then we'll stuff him in the tire and have Timko beat him again, and we'll see which one hurts worse, and then we'll know.
All right, so we have a tire
Timko,
swing.
you in? All right. You, Eric, you up for it? You take a good sound beating, 70 lashes, perhaps?
I got a big spare tire on my truck. I can bring it in here.
I would not fit in your tire. I'm 6'2". They
Let's
have to be
find
like
out.
a tractor tire.
Prove it.
All
So
right, he's in a tire.
he's in a tire, getting the shit kicked out of him, and then that's not good enough, so they take him out of the tire and they hang him from his hands from the ceiling.
Now
okay?
we're talking.
Yeah.
See now,
And
An asshole.
why
Jay.
the tire? Go on. Sorry.
it's probably the best they could do. That's all they got. They just went, give me
It's-
something to stuff him in.
It's psychological too. They're probably like, the kid's going to think what's going to be like after they pull me out of the tire, maybe, Jay.
Or stuffing a
torture
kid in
tactic.
there. It's just uncomfortable.
spinning him around?
All right.
So yeah, spin him around, beat him, whatever, and so then they've got him hanging, and they beat him some more, and he can take this for about 30 minutes. Think about how long your kids could take that. If you got grown fucking adults beating you in a tire, hanging by your hands, beating a half hour, this kid takes this fucking beating, and then finally he goes, okay, those are my family. Those are my family. Gives them up, and so then from there, these kids slowly, some of them are trying to escape, and when they're caught, they bring them right to the brink for an hour, shitting themselves, pissing themselves, before letting them go, things like that. They're locked in a room, 5 guys at first, like the 10 by 13 room. And then within a couple hours, there's 22 people in there with one tiny little window for sunlight, and that anyone older than 13 years old is only allowed out for 5 minutes a day to be outside. They get an hour, I guess. So anyway, this guy and his 4 buddies escape. They finally break out of there and get to this place, bum some money off some people in the street, like in the dark of night. I guess they got some slob of a guard, probably like an Eric watching the door, like, don't let them out of that room, don't. And he's like, yeah, whatever. Just sawing logs, lazy fuck. He's got a shit uniform on, his gun's not even loaded, and he's just sitting there snoring away. These kids, think about this, your kid's age, Jay, picking the lock, breaking out, jumping the wall in the dead of night, wait till midnight, and then fucking run as fast and as far as you can to a neighboring town, find a family on the street, bum some change off them so that they can make phone calls home, to where an uncle is a cab driver, knows the region and how to avoid the ISIS check, and come pick him up and
Wait, hold
bail
on.
him
They
out.
have payphones there?
This Jay.
You are so focused on the wrong
Fuck.
thing.
Why are they retired? They have
I haven't seen a payphone in years.
What's
Shit.
going on over there?
Jay, we're done. Like, payphone?
I'm sure I've left out some details of this. The Daily tortured teen who escaped from ISIS. It's terrifying, and there are a lot of people listening to us right now that have 13, 14. If you think about it in terms of those age, Timko's about where your kids are mentally. If you hear by the grace of God where we were born into this world, and, dude, it's
God bless America, man.
God bless America. It's for real.
Yeah.
Too bad that whole shitstorm is coming here and we're all going to die of Ebola, but we had a good run.
Yeah, we did.
We really did. I mean, our kids go to bed at night full, for real, and they have
Play video games and shit.
yeah, they
I mean,
have
think about it, dude. I mean,
They-
really,
Dude.
perspective. When you really have a problem when you hear a story
No.
like that.
I know.
You look on Facebook, you know, I get you know.
Facebook's down. This is fucking bullshit.
Right.
Fuck Zuckerberg, man.
Well, not just
what a
that,
fucking
yeah.
asshole. The NSA's spying on me. Fuck the NSA, man. This is bullshit.
Dude, and I'm not going to say we all do it because
Which
you, know,
is
you just get
bullshit, but-
used to it. Yeah, of course. Obviously. We all get used to it. Not that I don't ever complain. Of course we all do. Everyone does because you just get used to stuff. But if I scroll down my Facebook, news feed right now, things that someone might be complaining about, and then you read stories like
Every
that.
day.
Oh, my
Every day.
God. You just... Oh!
We were talking about the one thing the other day, the Facebook post, people fishing for stuff.
Right.
I can't take one more
Yeah.
minute. Really?
That's all I can handle.
Yeah.
Really?
Ridiculous.
Carol? Is it all you can handle, Carol? Really? Really, White Tina? Have you had enough? Are you done with this earth? Really?
FML.
Tell it to Lawand over in fucking Afghanistan. See how much he thinks you've had it.
Yeah. He got
In
stuffed
America.
in a tire and beaten and then had to use a payphone.
That's
The
what
fact
Jay
that he
got
had to
out
use
of
a
it.
payphone
That's
is
what I
enough.
took out of that.
I had to use a payphone today. This is bullshit. My phone was down. I couldn't get a signal in my basement. Oh, God.
Dude, I get pissed if I try to send a text and it doesn't go right away. Or at the Tiger Game on Saturday, I was trying to tweet my picture out, and it was like an hour because everyone's using their phone. I'm like, God
Yeah.
damn it.
Were you standing or sitting?
I was standing, of course.
You know I was standing. I was standing room only.
Oh, my God. How did you take it? I
Dude,
wouldn't
I
be
was-
able to deal with another day if standing room tickets to the Tiger game?
And like I said, and my tweet wasn't going out
Dude,
right away. I had to-
everybody fucking knows you get no service at Comerica Park.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a shock.
Okay, I get.
Where,
Fuck you,
where,
Jay.
where are we at with the tire, by the way? I thought we were getting the tire down here. We're going to beat Eric
We
today.
need.
What's going on?
I'm not gonna fit in one of Jay's tires.
We'll see.
Okay.
I'm not going to go on your word. I bet
I know for
J&J
a
can
fact I
absolutely
can't.
get you into that tire. I have extreme
can't.
confidence that the two J's can put you in a tire.
Not in his tire. I mean, he's got a big
And
truck.
they're going to have to prove me wrong, not you.
Okay.
Jay, it was just cut 'em in half. I got two tires, so put them in one, I'll put them in the other.
He might need that rib removal surgery that Walters just underwent. So, yeah. Pretty flexible now, aren't you?
Our other favorite topic, Bo Bergdahl. Did you see the new pictures? his
God,
lawyer
we're limping
released?
along with that story, aren't we?
Yeah.
How long's it been?
Well,
They're getting ready to think about talking to him.
they are talking to him today.
Oh.
They are. Of course, he's got his Yale pro boner. No doubt about it, right?
He's been prepped for weeks now.
Yeah.
He knows, what he can say and what he can't.
His lawyer sent out a picture, a new picture today. Like, here's Bo today with a new picture. And the only thing I take from this stupid story, because the spin that everyone's trying to spit out, and his lawyer, every interview I read, his lawyer keeps spitting out like, no sane person would even think of wanting to put him in jail after being 5 years captivity.
Right.
Really? No sane person? Because I know a lot of sane people that think he should abso-fucking-lutely go to jail.
Yeah.
A lot of sane people. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do, because a military court system is a whole lot different than the ones we're used to here in everyday life. So they play by their own rules in the military. So it'll be interesting to see. I wonder if public pressure will still play a role in this. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
It depends
they
on how many
care?
people get worked up about it. I don't know why more people aren't worked up about this situation. But
Well, I thought there would have been more sympathetic people, I guess. I'm kind of glad there's not. Because it really seems like a 50-50 or 60-40 split
I mean, it
on
definitely ended
people
up.
that think he goes to jail
Yeah.
or, oh, he's been through enough. But the only thing I care about with this story is, has he talked to his parents?
Right.
Tell me he's talked to good old Ma and Pa. Tell me he's had a couple conversations with Nana. Please. And what do you know? His lawyer's got no comment about whether or not Bo Bergdahl's talked to Mom, Dad, Nana, none of them.
That's the most interesting piece of the whole thing.
It's not interesting. It's utterly, I don't even know what to say. I don't have the word for what that
the
is.
key to the whole thing.
It is the only key to this story.
You know what? Who else is quiet? They have a website for him. I don't know if you're aware, supportbo.org, and there's nothing since June 4th.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So even that
Who's the
all
author of
shut
that
down.
that site?
Yeah.
B. Bergdahl.
Probably. But they have all this timeline stuff about when he was captured. We hope he comes home soon. Oh my God, he's being released, and it's June 4th is the last post. So yeah, everything's quiet.
Yeah, yeah. Because the real story started coming out.
Yeah.
From people that you know would never, ever go public and say a disparaging or negative thing about a fellow soldier unless it was fucking absolutely what they believed.
And there's been no one that's come forward to support him.
None. But this story doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. And everybody goes, boy, it's really weird he hasn't talked to his family. I wonder when that'll happen. You wonder when that, really? You wonder when that'll happen? Because what we've heard is he has no restrictions. He can call and do anything he wants. So the fact that he has not, after night after you nailed this right out of the fucking gate that his dad was up to something, and I don't care. He can sue me for saying it. I'm not even going to say what apparently
Allegedly.
or allegedly. Fuck allegedly. Nothing else makes
It's the
sense.
only explanation.
Dude, if there's another explanation, email us, thedetroitcast@gmail.com. I'd love to hear what the possible other explanation could be, because there is no such trauma in a family that could have happened 5 years ago through a captive held in that wouldn't just immediately wash away and go, oh my God, can you believe we actually fucking had a little war going on internally over mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving? Holy shit, our dear Bo is alive and home. Hugs for everyone. He hasn't even met him yet.
Yeah.
Not a phone call. Nothing.
He's pissed. They left him there too long.
Dude, why is that not just like blaring off the fucking screen at people?
Yeah.
And how did you know that? How did you know so early in this story that the dad was up to no good, Jay? I want to know. Do you know the Brigadals?
No, it's the only thing that makes sense. I tried to think about what could possibly make sense, and that's it. That the dad had a connection to the Taliban and said, hey, this would be a great chip. My son's over there. I could send my son over to you. You could hold him.
Yeah.
And we could bargain some of your guys out of captivity here.
Right.
Taliban.
Yeah.
And I'll get it done. Then he went to his son and said, hey, son, we've got this great opportunity to help who I'm now a sympathizer with, the Taliban. All you need to do is walk over there. They're ready for you. It's
They're
all
waiting.
communicated. They're good. We'll get this bargain done, and they'll release a bunch of our guys. They'll let you go.
Okay, so if that was the case, the story, say that really was the plan, so Bo then would be really pissed off thinking, I'm going to be here a month max,
Mhm.
and then on my way home, a hero, prisoner of war hero. And instead, 5 years later, he's eating bowls of shit,
Yeah.
and things didn't go according to plan.
Probably beaten several times along the way, and
But why would they do that if they knew Dad was the sympathizer and part of the plan? And here's the deal: my son's gonna walk up. Like, why would they? You would think they would treat him like a king, and
they might have. They might have.
But then why would
But
Bo
it
be
probably
pissed?
it probably didn't get communicated down the chain in
Yeah.
time to save him from the initial beating, right? So he probably took one.
He took one for the team.
All right,
That's
and then
all right.
they hold him. It gets communicated through as some Toyota pickup had to go screaming across the desert to tell another Toyota pickup.
Why
When
did
they
you call
had
him on
to-
a cell phone?
They had to like light a freaking signal fire or something.
Anybody got a quarter? Can I borrow a quarter, please?
No,
I
so
have to call Mr. McDonald.
finally gets down the chain. Hey, this is our guy. Hold him.
Oh, the one we just fucked up?
Oh shit.
My bad.
Sorry, boss. So
Hands off the asshole.
so the thing takes longer than it's supposed to, and our government probably doesn't play as easily as they thought,
Yeah.
and it takes forever. And
Yeah.
Bo's pissed that he's fucking sitting there for 5 years after agreeing that it goes smooth. Explanation.
I swear to you, I'm trying to think of any other scenario that could have taken place that would make sense. I honestly, I've racked my brain about it. I cannot think of anything else. Because take off the table anything that happened. This, I promise you, I would bet anything that this is directly related. He is pissed at his family. Months. For PR purposes, talk to your fucking family.
Yeah.
It just doesn't play well in the press. If anything, you think, yeah, I talked to my parents. I did. They're doing great. Love them.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off, Dad. That was the conversation he had with him. Fuck off, Dad. Don't call me again, you cocksucker. Click. Yep, I've talked to my parents. They're wonderful. I'll see him sometime.
Right.
And let it go. He can't even do that. He can't even do that. So what the hell was the breakdown in that plan? Because you know for a fact there's no such internal family strife that could have happened before he went away.
No.
That
Right, that
would
could
all have
last,
been
right.
swept. That right?
You go, wow, my dad worked to get me back.
Yeah. They've been on TV like crazy. So they didn't go through what he went through, and so they're fine and good. And oh, we can't wait. He's flying into Houston today. We're gonna meet him at the airport. That was their attitude. We can't wait. He's landing in an hour. Ooh. And then he doesn't want anything to fucking do with you. It's the only thing that makes sense. And why aren't CNN, MSNBC, Fox? Why are they all just going, boy, that's really odd. He hasn't talked to his family.
Yeah.
You really would think that whatever issues they had before he went to the military would have been washed away by this. I mean, a mother's love, but anyway, good luck to him. Anyway, under the Ebola, it's like,
Yeah.
really? You think that there was some issue 5 years ago that they can't seem to get over? Bullshit. Ugh, stupid people.
It'll come out at some point, right?
It has to. It has to. Well, why don't we take a quick break and regroup real quick? I'm sweating. I'm so animated.
We'll go get that tire.
Yeah, let's go get the tire. It's heavy. We're gonna get Eric in it. The missing Oregon mother. She's been found. Yay!
Mm.
We'll get into that next. Also, Theodore Wafer. That trial is wrapping up, and
The jury has it.
The jury has it.
Yeah, last I checked.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my opinion about that trial and what's gonna happen, and I'll expect you to give an opinion as well, Jay.
Okay.
We'll do it next on the Detroit Cast.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroitcast Thursday edition of the show. Mike and Jay here, and the whole team. And kind of exciting for next week. I almost forgot to mention Dave Gorsica, and not just Dave Gorsica, former Oakland County prosecutor, and the Detroit Tiger pitcher accused in the it supposedly took place years. So I reached out to him and too. So I was like, hell yeah. So I think we're gonna have Tiger pitcher who's the Evan Reed and Dave Gorsica. I'm hoping that they'll come by here. Kind of depends on Evan's schedule.
Right.
With the, I guess he's with the Mud Hens
Yeah,
right now.
right.
While this is all going on, so that's. I don't want to get too into it right now, obviously, but I have some opinions on this case, and I don't know a whole lot. We'll definitely get up to speed on everything before we have them on. But yeah, something to look forward to for next week. We will definitely talk to Dave Gorsica and so. Another local case that is dominating the headlines, and not just here, but nationally as well, kind of keeping a lot of tabs on the Port shooter trial. Good Morning America, Today's Show, I mean, they're all over it. I mean, giving breaking news whenever anything is happening with this trial, which is winding down today. They wrapped up testimony, well, yesterday for our purposes, and it's in the jury's hands, right, Jay?
Yeah, all they did, excuse me, on Wednesday was closing arguments, then gave it to the jury. So the jury did 3 hours and then went home. But it's in their hands, and it could go as it takes them.
What's the longest you've ever seen a jury out?
Oh,
I mean, personally, like, is it crazy to be days?
It gets pretty worried. Yeah.
Where they're just going at fighting?
Sometimes you're
Seriously?
sitting in the courtroom just and you can hear. And the last one I did was told to leave the court. Yeah. You know, I think we're going to ask the lawyers to leave the courtroom and at least be outside. Just
why? Would they hear?
They privately. So.
Wow, that's interesting. It's fascinating. I think it was OJ's case where they. Right.
Or actually, they should 1 minute.
Yeah.
And came out with a different verdict.
Yeah.
But disrespectfully, they came back within a couple hours with the wrong.
Embarrassing. But that was when I thought where they sent the lawyers away, figuring the jury was going to be out for days, but told them to be within 15 minutes of the court.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, don't go to your vacation home.
Right.
For tonight.
That's typical. You give your phone numbers to the clerk and you leave, and
really.
Yeah.
And then you got to just be watching your phone.
Yeah. You go to lunch and kind of.
Hang tight.
Yeah.
Could be now. Could be.
Yep.
Well, you kind of had me turned on this case, Jay, and I don't want to rehash a bunch of stuff, but there were some different things that I thought, anyways, were sort of new at the end of this testimony, because he was on the stand. Theodore Wafer was on the stand for a couple hours. They were each given an hour for closing arguments, which is common, right? For the judge to say that. But he testified on Tuesday for about 3 hours. He admitted Tuesday he did not tell police everything that had taken place at his house before he shot McBride. He did not tell a 911 dispatcher that he believed someone was trying to break into his house, or that he was in fear when he made the emergency call after the shooting. He admitted under cross-exam he did not tell police he could not find his cell phone. When he heard the banging on the side and front doors, he did not tell Dearborn Heights Police Lieutenant that he picked up a bat before arming himself with the shotgun. You never at any time told police you picked up a baseball. All of a sudden, when you're testifying in court, you've got this intermediate step.
See, that's a good point, because that if that's true, that helps him in that it shows that he got increasingly concerned. First he went for the bat, which is reasonable, right?
Yeah.
That's a reasonable thing. He didn't just jump to the conclusion that I need my gun and I'm going to confront this person. He went to the bat, point. And then, wow, I'm really afraid now, and he went to the gun. So that makes him look better.
Wow.
And so the prosecution was like, oh, well, that's interesting. Never mentioned the bat.
Wow. Okay. That's I did not think of it like that. This prosecutor was asking him, I guess it's a she, the female prosecutor was asking if he was a paranoid person and if the shooting of McBride was prompted by anger because he believed he was being harassed by neighborhood kids who had paintballed his car. I thought they paintballed his neighbor's car.
I did too.
Wasn't that what we had always heard?
Yeah.
You were mad and you wanted to hand. I hate when lawyers do this, and you guys all do this. The best of them do it. You were mad and wanted to handle this yourself. You never said anything about being scared. You were looking for a confrontation. You wanted to show you were armed. You opened the door to go outside.
See, that's cross-examination right there. That's a leading question.
Yeah.
And it's the difference. You have to just ask open-ended questions. On cross, you can hammer them.
Really?
You can formulate that sort of question and leave it as a yes or no. Yes or no. That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
And so you can really get at them.
Wow.
And that's the danger of putting your lying guilty defendant on the stand.
That's funny, man. But they all seem to do that, and some of them are really good actors and really put on a show. And you wanted to kill her. You did. And you see it on TV shows all the time. Oh, you got me.
Oh, dude, she definitely did that in the what's it
Lakes
Lakes
Michigan, USA.
Because she sat there because he killed his wife and his kids, and she's like, you bought the knife, you took the knife, you sliced her throat from end to end. I mean, she just boom, boom. Right, it's all true, but it's funny because that was absolutely what she did too in that one.
They all do, but for a guy like this, like really, he's sleeping on his couch at 4:40 in the morning, and there's a bunch of banging, as if anyone in this room wouldn't jump up and immediately grab at least a bat to see what the fuck's going on out there. You wanted a confrontation. You couldn't wait to kill a Negro. You couldn't wait to pull the trigger. Like, give me a break. Come on, prosecutor. But here's where I think this case turns. You ready?
I'm ready.
I think this motherfucker doesn't do a minute in jail.
Okay, and why is that?
Well, because of what the judge referred to parts of Michigan's self-defense law called the Castle Doctrine, which states people's homes are their castles and homeowners do have a duty to retreat from a perp if they feel they are in threat of harm or death. Hathaway also told jurors a porch is a part of a person's home.
Mm-hmm. That he had a reasonable and honest belief of the threat. And I think that's where jurors are going to struggle here.
Yeah.
And I think the prosecutor's points, and I'll read a couple of them. They summarize a couple here from the closing. Prosecutor Patrick Muscat told jurors what he did had to be immediately necessary, and it wasn't. It was reckless. It was negligent. I don't know how to describe it. It was horrific. How about shutting the door? How about calling 911? Muscat said. No, what he does is he engages. He creates the confrontation. And I think that's what's going to turn this case against him. I think jurors in the end are going to go, he didn't have to open that door. I get why you would, but he didn't have to. And this thing didn't have to happen. It happened because he created this confrontation. He should have waited inside and called 911. I think that's where it's going to go.
If you had your choice, would you want to be on team prosecution or team defense?
Yeah, I think the prosecution has a slightly stronger case.
Really?
It's just it's a tough facts, but I think he's going to get convicted.
But for how long do you think?
That's irrelevant. But
you don't think so?
No, I mean,
it's not going to be murder.
10 years. It's going to be murder if they convict him.
10 years? I don't think he deserves 10 years.
I just can't get past the thought. I think anybody can relate to being awoken in the dead of the night, not 3 in the afternoon, in the middle of the night, to some person banging across your side door to your front door at 4 in the morning. Think about that. 4 o'clock in the morning. You're sound asleep on your recliner, and someone's making all this noise outside your door. When the judge says the porch is that's your home. You have a right to protect yourself. That counts as your home. So that tells me that, Okay, just like if he opened the kitchen door, he can open his front door and protect from his porch. And now all of a sudden, Renisha McBride, drunk as fuck, by the way, hours later, jumps into his sight and boom. It's a terrible tragedy, but I think jurors are going to have a real hard time throwing some guy in jail for years who was minding his own damn business in his own damn house when this stumbled into his world.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, though, that message that he had easier options is going to win the day. That's my sense.
Do you think it's a big deal, the fact that I couldn't find my phone at first? I should have called you guys first. In the heat of the moment, because he keeps pointing out too how it happened so fast.
Yeah.
Happened so fast, and we've all been in situations where where, oh my God, I can't believe in the blink of an eye that just happened to me, and it could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
This is the worst.
Yeah.
This is the absolute worst outcome for a person, and it happened in the blink of an eye.
I think the majority of people will say he should have sat back at the end of that room, watched that front door, and if that door moved, blast it.
Yeah.
But other than that, you don't go opening the door and looking for this trouble. I think ultimately what the majority will
I guess
say.
How do you know that she doesn't have a gun? How do you know it's not a burglar coming to get you with a gun too, though?
Of course, you don't know any of
Well,
that.
then they
It's
shoot.
just
They shoot through the door themselves.
Yeah, it's a tough case. It
Yeah.
really is a tough case. I could see it going both ways, but I just reading that from the judge, when the judge said that about, hey, you've got a right to protect your castle,
Yeah.
and the porch is part of your castle. Now go to your room. I think they're going to have a real hard time. Really, really do. I don't
It'll be
know.
interesting.
I don't think he's a monster.
No.
So I think you put monsters in jail for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's a terrible, terrible story, no matter what they decide here in court. And it's probably ruined his life, and it definitely ruined her life. So
That it did.
Yeah. You brought this story yesterday, Jay, about the 12-year-old murderer.
The knife attack on the playground.
Yeah.
12-year-old on a 9-year-old,
Mhm.
unprovoked, stabs a kid multiple times in the back. 9-year-old running home. He gets home. He's died on the way to the hospital. And in the interim,
Crazy.
my man, the 12-year-old, surrenders himself. Walks
Yeah.
over to a neighbor. Hey, I need to use your phone, please. I need to call 911 because I just stabbed somebody. Calls 911, admits to it.
Yeah.
And then apparently there's a new wrinkle. Some witness says, oh, yeah, when cops got there, the 12-year-old sort of flagging them like, hey, no, I'm over here. I'm the one who stabbed Dad.
Isn't that just unbelievable?
What the hell, man?
That was
What a strange scene that is. Just
you can't even prepare for. Like, who would ever think you've got your 9-year-old on the playground with his and then he's going to come running back screaming, stabbed a bunch of times? Like,
are there details about the knife? Opens like a jackknife blade? Is he walking up there with a butcher knife? What is this thing?
I don't know. It obviously was something that could get deep enough to
Yeah.
do critical damage. We heard their kids run across the front screaming. Michael ran with the kids that were with him. This I didn't know.
Michael is the killer?
Michael's the dead kid,
Okay.
the kid that died. She said the boy's mother was distraught, pleading for help as she lay on the grass outside the family's home. Imagine that fucking scene. Good God. She was screaming, "Where is the ambulance?" while her boy was laying on the porch bleeding. The kids, I thought they were just playing. Witnesses said that the 4 children, one of them, for unknown reasons, pulled a knife, stabbed the boy in the back. He was nearby, coached and asked to use the phone. Only time his voice at the scene you're talking about, Jay, police arrived and they first went to aid the stabbing victim, as they should, and this kid, he yells at them, "Hello, I'm right here. You're going the wrong way." The fuck?
Clearly psychologically fucked up kid.
Totally. Tiffany Armijo said her son was playing with Michael before he was attacked, and she had never seen the 12-year-old before. That I thought was interesting. So these kids, the one neighbor says, yeah, these are the kids that Michael's always playing with,
Yeah.
these other boys. Yet one of the boys that's playing in this little $12-year-old details at this point.
We'll have a lot more in the next day.
The 12-year-old was evaluated at a hospital after the attack, and then he was taken to Kent Juvie Center. The 12-year-old is designated as an adult in the juvenile court system, which would allow the boy, if convicted, to be sentenced as a juvenile and then as an adult once he turns 21.
Huh.
What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know
not
the
a criminal.
juvenile system at all.
It's never made any sense to me.
Is that what Nathaniel Abraham went through, or was he just flat out designated an adult and tried as an adult, sentenced
Yeah,
as an
but
adult?
he got out.
Yeah.
He got out at 21,
Huh.
which would make you think that he was tried as a juvenile.
Yeah, I thought that whole story though was this little baby-faced
12-year-old
kid.
kid
Yeah.
as an adult.
Huh.
Maybe you guys, someone can look that up.
What was that?
Nathaniel Abraham. Because I could have sworn he was tried as an adult too, but if he was and convicted of murder, he wouldn't be out at 21,
Right.
which he definitely was out.
Yeah, 'cause he had
working
a-
a rap album.
A fledgling rap career.
Yeah.
I remember it well. Yeah.
Oh man. But what a terrible story that is. With these kids.
Nightmare. Good.
That's-
Another one.
Yeah. Sorry to do that to you. And then I hate this story. We'll get to something lighter in a minute here. I swear to God, we'll talk about the Tigers, some good news with Dombrowski, also the Lions as they get ready to start their preseason here in just a couple days. But I think we should talk about this. We haven't spent much time on it. This Jennifer Houston, Jennifer Houston, missing SUV
Right. Oregon.
in Oregon. I think I have the right story here. But I don't want to confuse it with another story.
Black yoga pants. She's seen in a CVS or Walgreens buying some
Gatorade,
over-the-counter
sleeping
pill. She leaves. They don't hear from her, see her, nothing. No credit card usage, anything for a week or something?
Yeah.
At least, right? They find her yesterday. Correct?
Now, the one, I think I've got two stories. I swear to God. Wasn't there a story where the missing mom and a daughter ended up dead and another daughter was stabbed to death?
Different story.
Different story.
Yeah.
Okay. The husband that's been all over the news pleading like, where is she? We want her back. We love her. We'll search forever. Is that the
I believe that's the story.
last part, counselor? I'll get you, lawyer. Is this the one where they had filed for divorce?
I don't know.
God damn it, that's the whole point. I thought there was one. I know there was one where they filed for divorce. And
I've been following this one, just little blurbs that I've seen, and I've not seen anything like that. All I've seen is everybody's pleading for a return, everybody's looking, everything seemed to be on the up and up, no suspicion of the husband, no, other than just, hey, we're everybody's investigating and we're looking, turning over every rock.
These cops know exactly what happened.
Yeah, they haven't said.
They're not telling us. Yeah.
She was found deceased.
She was found dead. Her truck's fine. It was on someone's property, off the beaten path. So you would just think automatically if you had some trouble, if medical emergency, someone's property and kind of hide. Like they were saying that where her SUV was, you would have a real hard time finding it with a helicopter.
Yeah, they searched the
above.
area from the air and didn't see it because of the tree cover.
Mm-hmm. Now they keep pointing to, it's so stupid when they do this. She bought sleeping pills, but not enough to hurt her, not enough to kill her.
Uh-huh.
Well, then it couldn't have been a suicide then, as if.
Oh, it's clearly a suicide. It's just a question of how.
Yeah. Well, the sleeping, she probably wanted to go to bed, take some sleeping pills, but she could have had 4,000 other prescriptions in her purse, right?
Or she could have slit her wrists, or she could have blown her head off. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
But the statement from the cop, it's very clear that it's a suicide.
Yeah. Police said nothing indicated foul play. Added the case was an open death investigation. We're keeping an open mind, but I think we've got an idea of what happened. Said they were not ready to release the cause of death. Why not? They said the car was not damaged, was found by a property owner in a remote wooded area. It was unclear how long the car had been at that location.
Probably right. It is pills, and that's why they're not saying.
Yeah.
You know, if it was a gunshot wound, obvious.
Yeah, right. But why? Like, her family.
Now she has 2 young kids, right? 2 and 6 or something.
Exactly. 2 sons, aged 2 and 6. She wouldn't leave all of us. She just wouldn't do this. Kaylin, her husband, said. Everybody who knows her agrees. Her mother suspects foul play. Somebody has to have her because she wouldn't do this. And it is a thought you don't want to think about, but I'm pretty sure that somebody has her. She would call. So either she's just really mentally unstable. I swear.
That's just strange that a husband could think that way, and that she's solid. You know, nothing going on.
And if it's the guy I think it is, and that I saw pleading on the news, he didn't seem like a guy that have absolutely it together. He seemed like a very upstanding. Now I'm looking at 5 seconds of a guy's life on the news, so what the fuck do I know? But at first glance,
she looks like typical.
I'm a pretty good judge of character.
Yeah,
Give me 4 seconds.
If you see the pictures of her, she looks like typical,
mom.
mid-30s mom with yoga pants. You know?
Yeah. Yoga pants.
She had yoga pants. She had black yoga pants and a green hoodie. I was looking for her. I had my eyes out.
Were you looking?
Every single mom in their 30s.
I know. Yeah, she had sort of like shortish, brownish, sandy blonde hair.
Wow.
Maybe you've seen her.
I think I saw her.
I think she had sunglasses on the top of her head.
No way.
Yeah, she drove an SUV.
Oh.
And her iPhone.
She had Nike running shoes on. Black black yoga pants.
Oh, the black yoga pants.
She had a greenish hoodie on.
Oh, okay.
With kind of a workout top on underneath it.
Yeah.
No, this isn't ringing a bell.
No. Type of lady that would always call. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she'd always call. Nice
disappear,
lady. Young kids. 2 and 6.
Specific Jake, a little more specific Jake.
I can't believe we haven't. Nobody pinpointed her.
That's hilarious. Yeah. That's so funny. It was reminding me of another case, but I can't find it here in my stuff. So, anyways, whatever. Yeah, she doesn't sound like 3,000 billion other mothers.
Probably
in
every
America
female
right
listener we have, we just described, right?
Yeah, right. Give or take 10 pounds. Dave Dombrowski mentioned good news. I guess good news, kind of bad news. Good news.
Mr. Rogers sticking around.
Oh, he wasn't here for that, dude.
What?
When we were talking.
Does Dave look like Mr. Rogers?
We went.
No.
Oh,
You know what? If you look at him side by side.
Yeah, I guess he kind of does. Yeah.
All right.
I see that.
Go with it.
Yeah.
We decided
It's
that
a
he did while
beautiful
you were
day in the
gone.
neighborhood.
Yeah, we already
Oh,
covered
We
it.
even
Beautiful
watched
day
the
in the
beginning of that. We even watched it. On
The son of a bitch didn't even listen to that episode. You know?
I haven't had
It's his
time.
show. It's his show.
It wasn't
And
that
we
my
all-
show that
yeah.
day.
We also concluded, dude. You know, like when Mr. Then he's changing. Where's he coming from?
Yeah.
Like,
Where the
where is
fuck
Mr.
is that guy coming from?
Raping a child.
Got changed
All
his
child
house
rapers in
slippers.
sport. Got him. Straight to hell. Mr. Rogers. Yeah, I never understood that. The untying of the shoe and how you doing, neighbor?
Yeah.
Putting the
Where
shoes
is
away.
he coming from?
It's on his little tennies.
Yeah, he's coming from Timmy's apartment across the hall.
Dudley's.
Mom's at work. Yeah.
He's over at the
Oh.
bike shop with Dudley.
Dudley. Poor Dudley's taking it again from Rogers. He's taking it from the bike shop owner. Kids had a rough go. Yeah, Dombrowski is sticking around. He was mentioned as a potential finalist for the
Commissioner.
Yeah, to take over for Bud Selig. And he's gonna stay here.
Probably would have been a really good commissioner.
Yeah.
Honestly.
He would have been a great commissioner.
Did he take himself out of the running, or
No, they
did he-
picked their
he
three
decided-
finalists.
Okay, so well, that means he. I wonder if he would have done it.
Probably. How could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not? I mean,
The only reason I would say not is if you're the commissioner, you would. I don't know if he's won a ring. I think he's won a ring already. But
Yeah.
the idea of being on a team and winning, like, that would be the only thing to me.
Yeah, he won with the Marlins.
yeah.
Okay. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like, as opposed to the commissioner where you're not going to, then you're just running baseball. Like, here he still has a chance to get a
You're just running
Well,
baseball.
I know, but I think if you're competitive, I think there's that wanting to build another team to win a title. I think
or
that-
build a league into the
Exactly.
Fine, whatever.
Yeah,
You're
it's a
My
big
points
deal,
are
dude.
stupid and yours are right. fine.
Yes, I know. Thank you. I'm glad
Why
you
even
finally
bother
know
I
that.
agree with Mike on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, what a shot.
For the record,
Thank you,
Let the
counselor.
record be known that
he's doing the blowjob action with his hand. That
Yeah, of course
motherfucker.
it is, yeah. No,
Get the tire.
yeah.
I looked at those things in the break. There is no chance I'm going in those.
Dude,
times.
you're talking about the difference in being a local show like the Detroit Cast and being a nationally syndicated program.
I
and
disagree
going,
with that.
well,
analogy.
you could dominate the Farmington market. I mean, why wouldn't you? If you could own the Farmington market, why wouldn't you?
Dude, I
Well, why
disagree with
wouldn't
that
you fucking
analogy.
run it and own the goddamn country's market?
Because for me, I might be like, I like the idea of fucking building a team and winning a title and getting rings.
Well, he
and,
could still do that this year. He's doing
Well,
it
no,
right
but if-
now.
Probably
know,
his
but-
best and final chance.
Yeah,
How
right.
do we know that? He's a young man.
Oh my God, Eric, shut up. It's a humongous job, and he'd be crazy not to take it. But it doesn't matter. He's
Because
not
he's not in the
finalists.
running. God.
Yes. The whole
All right. We went full circle on that. Dave's not a finalist.
Yes, yeah. The guy from the White Sox, the chairman, Tom Werner, is Tim Brosnan and Rob Manfred, whatever. So anyway, but we get to keep Dombrowski, which is good. They also had a survey come out on the best, well, a lot of bests, but Miguel Cabrera is the best hitter in the American League.
Yeah.
When they poll, like, not the general dipshit public, but
For sure.
God.
you know, give
Guys
me
you have to
what the
face him.
managers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've got him as the best. In the survey, Cabrera was also rated the second best in power hitting, strike zone judgment, and exciting player to watch. Finished second in strike zone judgment to Victor Martinez, by the way.
Mm.
Yeah. Scherzer tied for second in both best slider and best changeup. David Price won for best control.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Look when people decide. You know, Derek Jeter started the All-Star
Right.
game.
Yeah,
this year.
right.
So,
Exactly.
Ugh. The Lions. We have not spent nearly enough time on the Lions. Zero time on the Lions. And it's about time. Did you know Mariucci was in town?
Ha!
Did you know he's best friends with Izzo?
I did know that.
Really?
Izzo
Yeah.
cute. Tom Izzo
Yeah.
cute. Mary
You
Miucci.
serious?
Yeah, I swear I heard
Derek
that. I heard that
Ritchie.
somewhere. That they
Next, they were up in the UP.
school in the UP. Yeah, they were
Crazy.
both managers, roommates.
Well, he the NFL Network and all that sort of stuff. But so on watching training camp this past Tuesday, he says he was mean much, and he's kind of got. Oh boy, they were piece of shit. No, he can't say that.
He
But
doesn't bug me as much. He's all right. I get it.
yeah, Ndamukong Suh, he says, looked really good. Duh.
Right.
A leaner Calvin Johnson, he said he believes the Lions have the pieces and coaching staff to compete in a wide open NFC North. It's a division that's really up for grabs. The Bears will be right there because they know how to score points. Their defense is not like they used to be. The Packers are going to score. We know that, but their defense isn't a top defense. Being same in Detroit, they're going to be a lot of points. Mariucci, he said, although things didn't work well with him and the Lions in the end, he said talking to Bill Ford Jr. was the highlight of his trip here. Also talked to Dominic Raiola and Don Muhlbach. Why would he talk to those two?
They were there when he was.
You're
Holy
such a
shit.
smart guy.
Holy shit,
the
man.
only two
Muhlbach.
guys.
Yeah, the long snapper.
Exactly.
Wow.
The only two guys that are
Mr.
still here from when he was here.
I don't pay attention to Lions. I'm Lion free, but I know all the
No, I
players.
just know a lot of shit, Eric.
You walked right into that, sir.
Did he have any concern about the cornerback position?
Doesn't mention
The
that.
cornerback, not quarterback, cornerback.
Yeah.
No, he didn't mention that?
No, just everybody else has an issue with that. But
The fact that they're counting on Darius Slay to be their cover corner. The guy, I know he was a second-round pick a couple years ago. High hopes for him. But he pretty much crapped the bed last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Houston has the injury. They cut him. He was their guy, who I thought was overrated anyway. But they get rid of
Yeah.
Houston, and now they need to slide someone into that top spot, and Darius Slay just gets that spot and gets all this lauding as
Yeah.
he's great. We expect great things from Why?
Yeah. Because
What-
he's proved it somehow to you. And
No, he started. I think he started the season last year, and he proved over the first 3 or 4 games
he couldn't handle it.
they started giving him spot duty.
Yep. And then injuries. They seem to get hammered with injuries in the secondary every single year. I don't care who's here. And that's just one of those positions where if you're going to be a contender in the NFL, you better have a lockdown, put them on an island, shut it down guy. You have to have one of those on your team.
They haven't been serious about that position really since Ray Crockett, to be honest.
Well, Westbrook.
Well,
they thought
they
Terry
went.
Fair.
Yeah, they spent I think a number 5 on Westbrook.
Yep.
They got Terry Fair. They took him before Randy Moss. Randy Moss, I think, went right behind him
Really?
at like 22 or 23.
Or 22.
23, number 23.
Okay. Okay.
But anyway,
Yeah, you're right.
they
You're right,
tried.
you're right.
They spent some draft picks on guys, but those guys weren't anything to write home about at
Westbrook
all.
they thought was their guy.
Yeah.
They spent a 5 on him.
Yeah.
As you said. But yeah, why? Well, we could ask that question forever, unless they just didn't. I think people would have loved it if they would have gone after the state kid.
Yeah, Denard.
Yep.
It's such the problem with cornerback, when they get burned, you know?
Yeah, but they got to have a short memory and just let it go.
But dude, it's bad. When a cornerback gets beat, it looks bad. It's a bad result.
Well, you watched Denard a lot. You loved him.
Yeah.
Is he a get beat bad kind of guy? I mean, they all are to some extent, but
No, I would have preferred that they took someone on defense for sure instead of another tight end this year.
yeah.
This whole best player, you're not in position to do that. You have glaring needs. You've got Jonte Green, Chris Greenwood, Bill Bentley, Nevin Lawson,
Oof.
Darius Slay, and Cassius Vaughn as your cornerbacks on your roster right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've only heard of a couple of those guys.
Jonte Green, Chris Greenwood, they've got some promise. They're, I think, third-year players maybe, but they had injuries and stuff, so we'll see how they work out. But, dude.
And then you dumped your who was the big hitter with the terrible knees that they cut loose? He was a safety.
Oh, yeah. Guy out of
26.
Western Michigan. Why can't we think of it? Oh, I think okay at safety.
Quinn. Mm-hmm.
That's fine, you know. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, well, you just look at the top teams in the league. They either have Peyton Manning at quarterback, but they all have multiple. Look at the teams that are legitimately competing. Take them apart down the field. Not going to do it.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Louis Delmas, by the way.
Delmas, thank you. God.
I was trying to. Yeah. I was trying to look it up, Jay. I know I didn't get it, but I was trying.
This sounds like they got a healthy kicking competition going on right now.
Isn't that
too,
strange? Because Hansen was the guy for before that, Eddie Murray, right? We went from Eddie Murray to Hansen, and then we had Dave Rayner that was hanging around for a little bit, and then Akers for most of last year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now we've got a whole new competition. What is it? Freeze and
Nate Freeze, yep.
And then Tavecchio or something like that.
Yes, exactly. Tavecchio, well, Tavecchio was undrafted.
Yeah.
And Freeze was the 7th round pick this year.
Right.
Who was to just kind of land in that starting spot. But Tavecchio's out kicking him.
Huh.
And so people are like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's like, do you give a shit if a kicker was taken in the 7th round or not drafted? Who cares?
Right.
Hasn't Joyke Bell taught you? It doesn't matter where you were picked. It doesn't matter how you got there, through where, through when, or who kicks better. Who gives a shit when he was drafted, where he went to college? Who cares? It means nothing. And anyway, they also say Sam Martin apparently has the punter.
Yeah.
Has a big fucking leg too.
Yeah.
And there's talk and rumor of maybe him being the like really long field goal kicker. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Use another guy for like more accurate, kind of closer in, and then he just kind of goes for it.
Yeah, you got a 65-yarder, and at the half, whatever, throw Martin in there and go for it. Caldwell said, never say never to using Martin on long field goals. Coaches are in the business of winning. We don't win, there's a problem. Nothing good ever happens when you don't win. So what we're going to try to do is get the best player out there playing for us to give us the best chance to win. We don't care where he came from, who he is, and we're just looking for counts. The Lions good period of their practice preparing for the read option, just knowing that this weekend on Saturday they're going to take on Johnny Manziel at some point, and they're expecting that he'll be running some sort of a read option and running wild.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out in Cleveland. Hoyer is starting, and that he's going to remain the starter at least early on. But
Brady, who would have saw him playing it down in the NFL and having success? But he's never lost a Super Bowl. Tom.
That's true. That's true.
But there's no doubt in Cleveland, Johnny Football is going to play at some point, and I got to think this season. I don't care what kind of season Hoyer's having. I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
But Johnny Football is outselling jerseys than everybody else. You know.
Yeah, you feel bad for him, but second-string NFL quarterback isn't a bad spot to be in. What do we look at?
The contract of a starter, right?
Yeah, I think we were looking at Stanton's numbers yesterday, just off the air. Drew Stanton, former Lions quarterback who left here, went to Indy, cup of coffee in
Jets,
New York, and then Tebow came, so he went to the Cardinals, where he's now the second-string quarterback under a 3-year, $8 million contract.
$8.2 million.
Fucking sweet would that be?
With zero possibility of injury.
Shit. Behind Carson Palmer, right?
Yep. He's basically playing flag football for a living for $8 million over 3 years.
Now, granted, there's probably going to be a point in the season where he has to come in and finish a game or whatever, but whatever, right?
Take a knee here and there.
Now, chances are Palmer will get hurt and he'll have
Palmer's
to
old.
play a game, game and a half. But
that's just the weirdest story to me, his career in the NFL. I just don't think he
Stanton?
I don't think he
you.
ever gave it a real shot. He was a second-round pick.
Of Millen, though. Millen took him in the second round. Had Millen not taken him, he'd have been a 5th or 6th.
You think so? You think he would have fallen that far?
And look, man, he was my quarterback for State for several years. I loved him, but I got to look at it.
He was just a gamer, man.
He doesn't have the gun. Sometimes you look at these guys and they just have a gun. You go, that's NFL. He didn't have that.
I know, because neither did Tom Brady or Joe Montana. They didn't have that gun, that NFL caliber gun. But they were gamers.
About it.
Yeah.
But dude,
and they that he had, but
he was never. He was a sloppy runner.
Tom Brady was a sloppy runner. So was Joe Montana.
Yeah, but neither of them were looked at and touted as runners. Stanton has this reputation as a running quarterback. He really wasn't. I mean, he kind of made do.
Yeah, that's fair. You watched him more than I did. When I watched him play, he just looked like the guy you wanted with the ball at the end of a game. He was just going to get it done. And more times than not, he got it done. So did those guys that just had that gamer in them. But Montana and Brady would have never, ever for a second been like, all right, back up it is.
Yeah.
Give me my check. Like, those guys would have never done that. They would have gone, get me the fuck out of here. I'm going to start in this league. So.
Well, I think he tried to do that, though. He went to.
Not really.
Well, he went to Indy where Luck was just in. Chance.
Dude,
no, listen. He had a chance if and Ryan Leaf isn't going to falter.
Oh, my dude.
Look, dude.
Luck was the biggest sure thing in the history of the NFL.
Fine. Is that saying, I'm taking second fiddle to Sanchez? Sanchez is not anything, Yeah. He could go there thinking I've got a shot at this, and then they brought Tebow in and he left.
I want to say he went to New York as a third string, though.
No. Look it up, Eric. And it's going to be tricky because you're going to see Tebow on that roster too. He came in right after him.
Every time I saw an interview with him, I just kept waiting for him to go, I can't wait to get my shot. I'm going to prove myself, and I'll never let it go. He just didn't have that attitude. He didn't have that fire like you have to play and have great success. Now, great success to me. I'll take 3 years, $8.25 million. So the laugh's on us. And
maybe he has that fire, but look, you look around the league and you go, well, where can I step in? No. Okay.
Sorry.
But is there anything more competitive on the planet than fucking trying to get an NFL starting quarterback job? I mean, shit.
Yeah.
There is some real frickin' talent there, and to try to unseat one of those guys.
I'm shocked that you don't see that, like, that attitude of everybody gets a chance. Any second string quarterback in the league gets some playing time at some point.
Here's the thing though. Your point is somewhere where he knew he could start. That's tough to find as him, right? He's a backup guy who really didn't do much in Detroit. You can have the greatest agent in the world, but you know where are you going to find that? You're going to find a place where, hey, Andrew Luck's a rookie. You might start the season because he's a rookie and he's not going to be ready. That might be your best opportunity.
See, the Jets one makes more sense, but and I would have stayed there because Tebow. Anybody could have looked at Tebow and gone, yeah, he won a playoff game 7-0 basically on a fucking bomb across the middle. Like, that was one play, but other than that defense, they had nothing.
Yep.
There was nothing there. So
remember before he went on that streak, the Lions just hammered him. It was like 45-7 or something in Denver.
Yeah.
And then they went on some 10-0 streak or something. But
are there any emails, by the way, Jay? I haven't even looked.
Yeah, there's a few.
Are there? I wanted to do one quick story here, and I was trying to find this guy's number for us to call, but I can't find it at the moment, and we'll keep looking for it. But police in Towson, Maryland, say charges have been filed against an Ohio man who was accused of pissing on the grave of former Ravens owner Art Modell.
I love it, dude. I love it. I respect it.
And then he posted a video of it on YouTube.
Awesome.
But so you got what, a 15-year-old kid, 16 years old. He hates the owner and for moving his team.
Dude, I could.
Oh wait. Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Roll Tide, Bama.
Dude, I could so.
You?
Yeah,
why?
absolutely.
Really? No, but this guy moved the franchise. That's why he's pissed off. He took his team from Cleveland.
I get you.
He's an Ohio guy.
Perspective, dude. You're 61. Come
on. They've got a team back. Got Johnny Football, for Christ's sake.
More? Why not? He probably always wanted to do it as a kid. Why not?
No, he's probably been doing it for years. I've been pissing on him since he died. Paul Serbu's his name, of Franklin, Ohio. He's been charged with disorderly conduct in a cemetery, which is a misdemeanor. Could face up to 2 years in jail.
Yeah, a few email here. Kim writes in about dick sweat and breastfeeding.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a great latch going last week. I mentioned Beth was not happy when I said that.
I was wondering about that one.
I got a double latch going. It was great.
Double?
Yeah, I got one to the other and bounced back. I'm kind of a trickster.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike and Jay. I have another theory on the lack of dick sweat. Maybe circumcised dicks don't sweat as much because they don't have foreskin, which I would assume, paren, I have no knowledge of this, I've never even seen an uncirced dick, and paren, would have more sweat glands than the shaft itself.
Oh, sweetheart.
So Kim's thinking, though. I like her thought. You know, right, there's more skin there. Logic says that there'd be more sweat glands, and so maybe that's what Dr. Roche... I think she's trying an out for me, because Dr. Roche just shot... It's a fucking fact. Take off your drawers. Tell me if there's sweat
Bone
there.
dry.
Bone dry.
And just putting a turtleneck on it, I don't think you can have sweat dripping off with a turtleneck on there.
Smell like puke. And I've never been able to eat them. Gross. I've heard of that from a lot of people.
Really? People are supporting you?
SpaghettiOs.
They definitely smell weird. I just didn't know if puke was what I was smelling.
Here's a guy who does not support me. Ross writes in. Lawyer J is the real
Lawyer? I'll get you for this.
Says simply, I hate Lawyer J and his slimy fucking legal positions.
I like that guy. He's got a future in this.
Yeah.
Good
email.
Dave writes in about cell phones.
You know what that's about, by the way, Jay, right? That's about the stories like when I want the forgive the loan, the student loan that the dad stuck with.
yeah.
The
Where you
religious
want
one.
common sense to come in and
Ross just co-signed something and he's pissed.
Yeah, he's
like,
getting
fuck.
He's getting
You and your legal positions. I speak the truth. I'm sorry.
the worker ones where it's like, this is bullshit. They're firing a guy for smoking, and you're like, nah, they can do whatever they want. They're a corporation.
Oh my God, we got a yelling argument about that today.
I know. We'll get into it tomorrow.
Dave writes in,
Lawyer.
Dave writes in about cell phone usage, and we talked about distracted driving. And dickhead Eric over here, first he says, I don't give a shit. I'll keep doing it. I know something's going to happen. I'll probably hit someone and kill him. Whatever.
Texted on the way home yesterday.
Then he texted me on his way home and tweeted from
and I
the drive
tweeted in
home.
the car today when I was getting food.
What a bitch. Well, he was getting my food.
We were sitting there after Eric left, and Jay's phone goes off. He goes, I bet it's that fucking asshole with his car. Yep.
Yep. Hey, guess where I am? In my car driving.
All my Ha's come out H.
Hog.
For some reason, they don't come out HA.
Jay didn't even look at his phone. He goes, I bet it's that fucking
That's
asshole.
so funny that
And it
I'm glad you
was.
told me that. That's awesome.
Dave writes in about cell phone usage. I understand the cell phone is something that won't go away, but when did everybody feel so self-important to have a phone? Just like Mike said back in the day, you'd call someone, leave the house, and get in touch with them sometime later. I mean, does everyone have to have a cell phone? I mean, really, do they? Dave's
No.
challenging us to think about it.
How dare you?
It is slowly destroying our society, Dave says, every day, either by deaths or by lack of actual communication. I mean, a phone is something you talk into. No one ever does that anymore. Sad state of affairs that the world has come to. Thanks for letting me vent. And oh yeah, I still have a flip phone. I'm going to take a wild guess over under at Dave's age.
And 18,
Over
17,
under
13?
55.
Yeah, maybe.
Not a young teenager.
Yeah,
writing in?
Dave, thanks for writing in.
That's the interesting thing, though,
He's
that
right.
nobody talks about is the fact that talking into a
Ugh.
phone has gone.
Fuck
Like,
yeah.
dude, I go when my phone rings, I'm like, oh, who's the cock calling me now? What's that? What's up with that? Don't they know they can text and type letter by letter a message to me
I
over
know.
take 15 minutes where they could just go, hey, dude, what's going on? They could type it out by letter.
Fuck is
Yeah.
this?
Like, who's the ancient asshole calling me?
He is right in those things, but on the same hand, I'm not gonna stop using
No,
them.
I don't want to talk to anybody.
He's
I know
right.
Jay does it.
Oh.
We can go years without talking
Yeah.
on the phone, and we love it that way.
Yeah,
It's
Mike and I
perfect.
have always texted and preferred texting.
Even when we talk to each other on the phone, it's like, I'm sorry to
Fuck,
call you,
yeah,
but
that's okay.
I feel like an asshole. I really do. Anyway, you want to go to the Super Bowl today?
Yeah, there's no gaming around shit. Like, hey, how you doing? What's your day been like? What do you
It's family.
So, no, it's just like, dude,
This-
what do you got? Let's go.
This might shock you. I don't call people that often, but when I talk to my friends, this might shock you. But they sometimes a lot of times they have a hard time getting me off the phone because I keep talking.
Oh, I would just hang up. Oh, I got a bad signal. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
That's
you
crazy.
wouldn't give a fuck.
No.
You would just be.
Oh man. All right. Well, why don't we call it? We've gone long. We've gone way long. So, thanks everybody for hanging with us and checking out the show. Again, we're gonna have Dave Gorsica and Evan Reed next
Big.
week. Yeah, that's a big story.
Eric,
So,
make sure you read what the story's about before they come in.
Yeah.
No, we don't want him talking anyway. We got this.
Yeah,
You're good.
You're
You're good.
looking to me for
No,
some hard
just
hitting
watch the birds. Watch the birds.
Yeah, follow the bird, string on a bird. But yeah, you guys are doing such an amazing job of sharing the show. And you guys really did this without me. Getting people to push the show out there and share it, register on our site. All of those things are really making a noticeable difference. Yeah, apparently it does when people actually something. I'm seeing
Crazy.
big uptick. Couple shares here and there from some kind of media
Yeah.
savvy and tech
Literally
savvy
1
guys
or 2 an episode.
to 30 and 40 a day, and,
Yep.
and it's really impressive. It's really helping out, and it's making a difference. So those people that like this show and want it to keep going, keep doing what you're doing,
And like
and
Jay-
then some.
Jay knows this, and I know we say it every time, so you don't want to hammer it too much, but it's not even just that they're sharing, but they're sharing and giving their friends a little example of what it is, so they actually kind of know what this is.
Yeah.
And they're saying, hey, I used to listen to Drew Mike, or hey, are you tired of morning radio? You can use this as your morning radio, and that
Mhm.
helps people even that
Even
are their
more.
friends actually maybe pay attention to it as opposed to just a link.
Yeah, yep. You're totally right. And we read it all, we see it all, and we're just blown away by it. Every one of us sits here and just goes, God damn, that's so cool. I can't believe that person wrote that. And so it really does mean a lot to us, and we're seeing it. And keep it up, you guys. It's awesome. Keep donating, keep doing what you can, and we'll keep doing what we can. And with that, we'll call it a day, and we'll be back tomorrow with an all-new Friday edition of the Detroit Cast.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit. Know not what remains that love.